it's Jennifer with Playmaker Coaching and Consulting. And you know what? There was listening to a podcast the other day. They were talking about the quote that probably all of us have heard at one point in our life about it's 1% inspiration and 99% preparation. I think that came maybe from Thomas Edison initially and everything, but that really resonated with me and made me think about how that related to the quarterback documentary on Netflix. I don't know how many of you guys have watched it. But I recently watched it, being a big sports fan and being from Kansas City, go Chiefs. I really enjoyed it, and it really hit home on some of those messages about preparation and what it takes to really go from being good to truly being great. So I wanted to hit on some of the things that stood out to me that I think relate to what we talk about in the marketing space and how do we build systems to scale our businesses to be consistent and strategic and intentional with our efforts. I was just talking with an advisor and we were talking a little bit about, hey, it's better to do less and do it really well and be known for that and be able to be trusted for that than it is to try to do everything and really not do anything well. So here are some things that stood out to me. The first thing is it's how much they talked about mind and body prep. So they talked about and showed the quarterbacks doing practice after practice, not stopping just when the coaches said practice was done, but then running hills and doing more after that. About leveraging their psychologists, their chiropractors, cold tub therapy, having a chef for nutrition, looking at the tape. Obviously, we probably all think about that they do hours of tape review, but it was amazing to me how much more they did beyond that, how they had to continuously drill plays over and over because, man, the names of the plays are pretty complex. They had visualize their success, visualize the play in their head. So when they said all those words, they could see exactly what was going on in the field. Using neurofeedback to help them focus, to help rewire our brains to do the things we need to do. So I thought it was interesting how Kirk Cousins talked about, the goal really being is that you can just go and play on Sunday and not have to think. But to get to that point, it takes a ton of mind and body preparation to get there. What are we doing? What kind of work are we doing in the daily grind that puts us ready for those big moments in our business, our big moments, those big conversations, big opportunities? It's those little things that make a big difference. Part of what stood out to me related to that was they talked about, and I think it just came through even without the conversation necessarily, was the value of the team. We obviously know that quarterbacks have coaches. They have lots of different coaches, specialty coaches, training coaches, medical professionals, but they also talk about the value of their family, about the coaches and trainers that they have outside of their job that help them be successful. How are you surrounding yourself, or where are you leveraging mentors or coaches to help you that aren't just within your own company to help you grow? And, it was interesting within that space of training and leveraging other people. Mahomes talked about, with his trainer, how they really focus on helping him to be comfortable in uncomfortable positions. That when they're training, they're putting his body in some unique spaces so that then when he is hit or experiences that in a game, he's less likely to break. He can rebound to that because he's already experienced it in that moment. He talks about in his training with his coach that they focus on A, B, and C days. His A days being rejuvenation, his B days getting back more to movement and power, being ready for full speed. And then those C days doing faster than game day so that when it comes to game day, like he's more ready to go on autopilot and everything because he's done even further than that. How does that relate to you and your business? Have you ever thought about like having an A day, a B day, or C day? Like we don't have the same energy every single day. Our business is not the same by any means every single day. Is there something with that might relate to you? Kirk Cousins also talked about similar to this, like he has a day after the game where he spends it with his family. It's his kind of recharge day to reconnect. Where does that fit into your business? Because we know it's really important that we have time for our body and our mind to be successful as business owners and to make the biggest impact and help people the most, be fully present with them when we're at our best. So those are a couple things. The other pieces I wanted to share that really resonated with me watching this was how they really demonstrated, especially I noticed with the Chiefs, of how they got the team involved and gave them ownership. And this came through when they were talking about creating the plays and what the names would be called and the design of the plays, how much of that Andy Reid gives to the players on the team so that they own it then, and have a bigger connection to it. How are we doing that with our own teams? Another one was find what works for you. This always kind of perplexes me in a way because, maybe I'm a person that wants things to work a certain way, like, hey, you just do this and this is the result. But if you look at professional athletes, right, they're always criticized of like how he's an amazing scrambler, or he's a great thrower, or he's great at stepping in the pocket. What they've all done is been able to leverage what their unique strengths are, and create their own plan to work for them. So think about that in yourself. We don't all have to be exactly the same. We can still all be professionals and be at an elite level, leveraging our own strengths and our own plan that works off of those strengths. I love how they respect and learn from the competition, that it's not just about what they're doing, but how can they learn by watching other people to get better themselves, or just to make sure that they're always at the top of their game. Are we looking at our competitors and what other people are doing and outside our industry as well? What could be relevant in terms of technology or client experience or things that we can take to our own clients? They are able to really be present and maximize the moment. They can't be thinking about 5 plays down the line. They have to be thinking about, hey, I got to focus in on everything to execute this one particular play and be 100% in the moment. They're able to stand in, step up, and take the hit, and take it week after week. It's not just enough to get hit one week, but they do it over and over, and they sign up for this. Man, I wouldn't want to do that. But when you think about your own business, as things are changing, or you have to do the things that are hard or difficult, or you don't want to do, or somebody tells you no, can you take those hits and know that that just gets you one step further, like to completing the pass, or to be able to move those change to keep moving forward in your business? And then the last thing that really stood out to me, and especially from a marketing perspective, was by going through and watching this documentary about these quarterbacks, I was able to know them, to like them, and to trust them in a whole different way than I ever had before, because I was able to see that we had some shared values, some shared philosophies, the discipline that they put into place, the drive that they have to be their best and to have success and success for their team, that I am now rooting for the ones that even aren't the Chiefs, for Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota and everything. I am a fan of theirs now because I saw them being authentic, and I can relatable in ways as well. So by understanding the game more and understanding their role in the game, now I have such a deeper appreciation for what they do and for who they are and everything. So think about, as a business owner, how are you helping other people to know you, to like you, and to trust you? And even when it's not all perfect and you go through those moments of adversity, by showing that you're connecting other people to you, or helping them to see what goes on behind the scenes that maybe they had no idea of, and now how they'll be more of a fan of yours than they ever were before by just connecting in a meaningful way. So remember, success is 1% inspiration. It's 99% preparation. I'm curious if you've watched the series. What stood out to you? There's so many great things in it. I'm sure not everybody loved all of it, but these were some of the things that I think could really translate into what do I take and what you might take into our life and into our business to continue to help us be at the top of our game. We'll be back next Tuesday with even more Playmaker winning plays. We'll see you then.